this 12th day of January 2021. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's try to do a brief moment of silence. I'd like to keep our tradition here through the pandemic. First, honoring our military by keeping them in our thoughts and prayers, but also all of those who have lost their lives to this pandemic, and so many at this point. I believe the world total is approaching 2 million, and I believe the U.S. total is around 370 something, 376, something like that, 1,000 people. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's been just a tremendous death toll. So let's remember those who have perished, and also recommit ourselves to preventing other people from contracting the virus by social distancing, mask wearing, avoiding indoor gatherings, washing our hands, and all the other things that we know to do. And let's hope that we can see this vaccine as quick as possible to as many people as possible, and be able to not have to meet through Zoom like this, where we can run into some technical difficulties as we have this morning. So please join me in a moment of silence. Okay, please be seated. All right, so Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Schneiderman,
Present.
Councilwoman Lofstad,
Here.
Councilman Martell is not with us, Councilman Bouvier,
Here.
Councilman Schiavone.
Present.
All right, great. Yeah, Councilman Martell is undergoing knee surgery and cannot, as much as he would like to be a part of our meeting today, cannot be present with us. So we certainly wish him a speedy recovery and a successful procedure. And we'll miss him today, but he certainly has an excused absence. All right. So let's go right to the agenda here. The first item of business is the minutes from the town board meeting of December 22nd, 2020. I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
Seconded by, I think that was Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, approved. And secondly, the organizational meeting, January 5th, 2021. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Schiavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Okay. This is going to be a little bit tricky because I'm still having some technical issues, so I don't see your hands all go up. So Sunday, you're going to have to help me with calling some of these votes if I can't hear enough.
Certainly.
All right. So Sunday, would you go ahead and read the communications?
Yes. The following communications have been received in the office of the town clerk. We have received public notices from the town of Southold, a notice of adoption. From the village of Southampton, Board of Architectural Review, public hearing notice for Pond Lane in the village. Village of West Hampton Beach, emergency order filing. Town fire districts, the Eastport Fire District notice of special election on January 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. And the North Sea Fire District notice of organizational meeting on January 14th at 6 o'clock. The New York State liquor license notice to municipality. We received one for Inline Restaurant on Foster Avenue in Hampton Bays. Letters, emails, land use applications have been received regarding the following. Proposed regulation of battery energy storage systems, Conservation Board application, Romano Drive, Hampton Bays, Planning Board application for Squires Boulevard in Hampton Bays, Zoning Board of Appeals application for Wells Lane, Hampton Bays. Following bid openings took place on January 6th for the Bay Avenue bulkhead replacement and Flying Point Beach Comfort Station renovation. The following reports were filed. From the Landmarks and Historic Districts Board, a certificate of appropriateness for a house on Lumber Lane in Bridgehampton. And from the Town Comptroller, the December 2020 monthly financial reports. And that concludes the communications for this meeting's agenda.
All right, thank you, Sunday. All right, we're going to move over to public hearings. And we have 4 public hearings today. Sunday, would you read the first public hearing notice?
Certainly. Public hearing number 1, to accept the transfer and gift of a portion of the former RDC Associates Limited property in East Quad to the Community Preservation Fund program.
All right, thank you, Sunday. Lisa, will you be introducing us?
Yes, I will.
All right, so I'm going to bring up Lisa Combrink, our CPF program manager, to introduce this hearing.
Good afternoon, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. Lisa Combrink, Community Preservation Fund Program Manager. The first public hearing today concerns the transfer and gifting of a portion of property located at 33 Bay Avenue in East Quad. I'm going to pull up the area first so that you can see the property. Bear with me for a second. Here's an aerial showing the property at Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-342-2-44. This is a marina that is operated by the Parks Department. It's undergoing some work right now. You'll see at the northern end of the property, just showing it with the cursor, is a structure which is a single family house. This public hearing concerns the transfer of the portion of the property containing that to CPF from the town itself. I'll bring up a picture of the house. Can everyone see this in the garage?
Not yet.
Oh, you can't. Okay, hold on one second.
I don't know. Other people may, but I can't.
Okay, now I'm going to bring up the house. Can everybody see that?
I can see it now.
Okay, good. This is the back of the house and the garage. When the property was purchased in 2006, the transaction was divided between CPF and the appropriated fund balance of the town, the general monies of the town. The portion containing these structures was not paid for by CPF because the plan at that time was that the house would be renovated and it would be used potentially for use by a local historical society on the first floor and 2 affordable apartments on the second floor. Unfortunately, those plans were not able to be completed. And now the proposal is that this portion of the property would now be transferred back to CPF and the structures would be demolished. That's it in a nutshell. I had discussed this with Fred Thiel because this is an unusual transfer back to CPF, but certainly I think we could have, when the property was bought in 2006, purchased the entire property. And as part of our stewardship and management of the property, we could have at that time demolished these structures and then incorporated the open area into the use for the marina.
Lisa, are we stripping any development rights here
Yes,
into a bank?
we will be, and Dave Wilcox will be calculating what those development rights are. And when you entertain the resolution approving this, those would be included in that resolution.
And those will be able to be sold and the money used to create affordable housing? Is that,
I have asked for,
or it goes right to the general fund in this case?
I have asked for Dave's assistance on that because I'm not sure of the answer to that question.
It's possible it would go into an unrestricted account, right back to wherever the money came from to purchase this. From reserves, it may go back in. Once those credits are sold, if they're sold, that money might then go back to reserves.
Okay. The money originally for this portion of the property was from the unappropriated fund balance.
Right. So
Okay.
there was never a proper subdivision here. This was commingled, basically CPF funds and non-CPF funds, not unlike Conklin in a way, or some others. There may have been some sort of description about which portion CPF was buying and which portion the general fund was acquiring. But at this point, this would allow CPF to demolish this building and pay for the cost of demolition, correct?
That is correct. And we did not do a subdivision here because the ownership of the entire property is still under the auspices of the town.
All right, I don't have any other questions. Anybody else from the board have questions for Lisa? All right, let's go to the public. Do we have anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this hearing?
They would have to raise their hand. There are people in the public.
All right, if you want to be heard on this hearing, you got to raise your hand physically, or is there a little hand that you
There's a
click?
hand. There's a hand. I see no hand, so.
Okay. Why don't we leave the record open for 2 weeks? I'll make a motion to close the hearing and leave the written record open for 2 weeks.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. I can't see any of you at this point on my computer, so Sunday, I'll need your help. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank
I
you.
think I heard you all. Sunday, it sounded like there was 4 ayes. And I can't hear Sunday. So.
She confirmed it visually.
Okay, I see 4 fingers up. Excellent. All right, so let's move on to the second public hearing notice. Sunday, could you read that?
Sunday, you're muted.
Sunday, would you read the second hearing notice?
I'm trying. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can.
Okay, thank you. Public hearing number 2 to consider amending Town Code Chapter 312-26 Vehicles and Traffic to prohibit parking on Montauk Highway, County Road 80 at its intersection with Walnut Avenue and West End Avenue, East Quad.
Okay, thank you, Sunday. And I take it Tom Neely is going to be introducing this. So Tom, do you want to do that?
Yes, thank you, Supervisor. This public hearing involves proposed parking restrictions on Montauk Highway at the intersection of Walnut Avenue and the intersection of West End Avenue, which you can see those 2 intersections marked in purple here on the aerial. What we're talking about is a 25-foot restriction on the southeast corner. We're showing West End Avenue. Hopefully you folks can see the closer shot of West End Avenue here. 25-foot, no parking restriction at the intersection of West End Avenue and Montauk Highway, which is County Road 80. And there's an aerial map view, and then there's kind of my own street level view to give you some idea of what we're proposing here. This has been requested by the CAC numerous times over the last few years. There's been concern about this and the next intersection that we'll talk about. Pretty much what you see on this ground level view, where the back of that Jeep or SUV is parked, is pretty much where the 25-foot restriction would be in place. So we would establish that area along the sidewalk as no parking, pretty much up to the back of where that SUV is. The other intersection that this has been proposed is Walnut Avenue, which again, it's a very busy intersection. There are auto repair shops at both of these corners, the southeast corner of both these intersections. There are auto repair shops. There seems to be a tendency for a lot of vehicles to be parked along this road fairly often. Again, I've got the aerial view to show you there where Walnut Avenue comes out, and somewhat of a street level view. That orange, back of that orange vehicle that you see there, the 25 feet is actually just a little beyond this, and I think it was kind of fortunate that there was a truck going west right across the street at that time, because this helps show that if there was a vehicle either parked at this intersection or the previous intersection, right up to the edge of the intersection, you wouldn't be able to see those vehicles westbound as they approach. I should also point out that at both this intersection and at West End Avenue, the other corners of the intersection do have no parking restrictions. For some reason over the years, the southeast corner at both of these intersections, no regulations were ever enacted. So the 25 feet is trying to balance the need for parking in the area with the need to create a little bit of open space for better line of sight. This has been reviewed with the Suffolk County Department of Public Works Traffic Safety Division. They were sent the proposed regulations and some photographs. I did discuss it with Alex Prego, the traffic safety director there, and the county does support going forward with this, with the regulations for both of these intersections.
Tom, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Supervisor. As far as how we would mark this out, would we just paint a line indicating the location where parking starts, or would we put up a sign or both?
The posting of the sign is required. Sometimes lines are striped, but that's really supplemental. So they would both have to be posted. What I expect the highway department to do would be kind of where that purple flag there you see on the right edge.
Yeah.
A little beyond that, perhaps, they would have to install a post between the sidewalk and the curbing area there with an arrow pointing towards the corner saying no parking here to corner. That's pretty much how those kind of situations are handled.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is a line of sight issue over there. I know this was brought forward by the liaison, Julie Lofted. Thank you. And so.
And we have received at least 5 letters in support of these actions.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. Do we have anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this? Charles, do you have any hands up?
No hands. There are no hands.
All right. And do you want to make the same motion here just to leave the record open for 2 weeks?
Second?
All right. All right. I was going to actually have you make them. This is your resolution, isn't it, Julie, or no?
Co-sponsored with Tommy, John, and myself.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and you make the motion? Tommy, John, do you want a second?
Okay. Motion to keep the record open for 2 weeks written, please.
Second.
Yeah, and Tom, sorry, seconded by Councilman Scavone. All right.
And
then
to
we'll
close the
it.
hearing.
Yeah,
that
and
correct?
to close, yeah, the motion is to close the hearing and leave the record open for 2 weeks for written comments.
Okay.
And it was seconded by Councilman Scavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Was that for Sunday?
Yes, it was.
All right. I have lost my entire, oh, here it is. It's back. All right. I'm
Four.
okay. 4. All right. I just can't see. It's all blank screens, except for Julie, who's frozen with her hand up, still voting. So it's a little challenging here. All right. Let's read the third public hearing notice, Sunday.
Public hearing number 3, to consider amending Town Code Chapter 312, Article 7, Vehicles and Traffic, to enact changes in the seasonal no parking regulations on select roads.
I would like to ask if we could combine this with the next public hearing, which involves the parking by permit regulations. As we've been discussing these, they've kind of been paired together. So if we could have both combined, that would be good.
I don't have a problem with that. Jim, are you okay with that?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Public hearing
Sunday, would you-
number 4, to consider amending Town Code Chapter 312, Article 10, Vehicles and Traffic, to enact changes in the parking by permit regulations on select roads.
All right. Thank you, Sunday. All right. Tom Neely, our Director of Traffic Safety and Intermodal Transportation. You're going to introduce this, right?
Yes, sir. That was very
Okay, go
good.
ahead.
Thank you. We are here to discuss the beach road regulations. As the board is aware, we've had previous meetings on this. It all began with the sudden increase of the use of the town bay beaches this spring, as we all know, due to the pandemic. The town enacted emergency orders. The town board appointed a task force to look at this carefully and for long-term impacts to assess the beach road and parking situation and provide recommendations for possible changes. So that's where we are. And again, members of the board have been in a couple of previous discussions about this. So I wanted to just quickly go back over some of those. Our committee had come to consensus on that we add or modify regulations involving parking by permit and or parking by seasonal no parking regulations on 8 roads. And we will also, assuming these go forward, we recommend addressing no parking on 2 of these roads. We'll talk about that as we go through it. We are recommending that both parking by permit and seasonal no parking on these roads, I'd like to make it clear it's on these roads, the regulations be matched and both run from April 1st to September 30th. We also, as part of the discussions with the board at the work sessions, felt it was important to maintain or in some cases create some unregulated parking areas on these regulated roads to accommodate visitors and others who wish to access the beach but may not have a parking permit. And except where otherwise specified, the road ends where there's seasonal no parking, there will be a 50-foot default seasonal no parking zone. And within that, a handicap parking space or spaces may be established. So we'll look at the individual roads. West Landing Road with parking by permit is proposed, excuse me, trying to straighten out my presentation here. Proposed for 200 feet in a southerly direction on the west side of West Landing. That's the yellow with the little dots on it. 200 feet in a
Can't see it.
Tom, I'm not seeing any screen share if you're sharing a screen.
Yeah,
Is everybody else not seeing it or?
no, we're not seeing it either. No.
Just hit the button again. So
You are not seeing this?
No, the little green button at the bottom.
I'm also only seeing still images of everyone, but
Okay, can you see it
Julie-
now?
No.
Julie's hand is still raised from the last vote, so that's how bad it is. Man.
We can't see your shared screen.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the unshare button, and then I want you to hit the share button again. Okay? Now try it. No, not seeing it.
okay.
Although you did present this to us before, right, Tom? So we've seen.
Yes, I did. Sorry that I've lost this.
There were a couple of changes, right, Tom?
Yes, there
From,
were a couple of changes. Chaz, you can't access this?
Nope. The power is in your hands.
Hey, okay.
You can do it. Come on, Tom.
I'm going to sign in again, folks. Sorry.
Oh, man.
it's the day, don't worry.
Oh, wait a second, Tom. Yeah. Put your video on.
Okay, you're back, Tom. I can see you.
All right, let me get,
All right, so now share your screen. Should be the green button in the center and bottom.
right. You've got me back? Well, I don't have you back.
We got you back.
I've lost the Zoom connection here. I've lost a lot of things.
We got you
We
loud.
can hear you. We can see
We
you.
can hear you and see you.
Yeah, you're here.
Is there a little Zoom, the app icon on your computer?
Yep,
Click on that.
yeah. I'm getting the town hall logo, or the town hall picture, and I'm getting a phone connection. I apologize.
No problem.
No worries.
Do you want to try connecting me again?
If you wish. You'd have to back out yourself and then come back in. Can we go on and come back, or is that not permitted?
Well, these are the last of the public hearings.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm back. Let's see if I can get my screen back up there for you.
There you go.
Success? Okay.
God.
Again, I apologize. Thank you. Okay, so we left the consensus on some of those items. Now we're going to look at the roads by hamlet. West Landing Road, as I was saying, again, we went through these. I don't know if we need to go through them again, but very quickly, we proposed some parking by permit, 200 feet in a southerly direction on the west side of the road, followed by seasonal no parking on the east side of the road. The seasonal no parking currently runs all the way down to the water. We would end it at Petrol and actually create that as a parking by permit area. It is signed that way right now. So right now the signage does not agree with our current regulations. On Petrol, which is the intersection coming right off of West End there, we would have parking by permit on the side closest to the water and away from the homes. We would have seasonal no parking on the side where the homes are located. On the next East Landing Road, on the west side, the left side as you face it, we would have seasonal no parking. On that side of the road, on the right side, we would maintain, on the left side, we would have parking by permit. That's proposed. On the right side, we would have or maintain the seasonal no parking that's currently in effect there. And there is a small unregulated area for people that don't have a permit. Sunset Avenue, what we have talked about and have not come to a final decision on is the concept of changing on the east side, the side closest to the water. Right now, there are parking by permit regulations on that side of the road, which currently expire at 6 p.m., as we know. There is seasonal no parking overnight on that side of the road, currently 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. However, that's not been posted. So that certainly contributed to the problem. I think that those regulations have not been posted. What would be up for consideration, although it's not changed in the draft regulations, would be to possibly have the seasonal no parking start earlier than 11 p.m., for example, 8 p.m. Currently, with seasonal no parking in effect on the west side of the road, the far away from the water, and seasonal no parking, parking by permit on the east side of the road. Right now, there's a window on the east side of the road between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. where people could park. I think it's up to the board to consider whether we want to make that even a little tighter. But again, I think
this is not a work session. This is a public hearing on proposed changes.
right.
I just need to know what exactly the proposed changes are. If you have some things for us to consider, bring that at a work session, not in this venue. It's just
Okay.
kind of confused everybody.
Okay, that currently, the only change here would be to have the regulations that are currently in effect run from April 1st to September 30th. There's no other change currently in the draft regulations.
Okay.
I bring that up because we did receive a letter from some residents today questioning that, but perhaps we can discuss that a little more later or separately. I would like to talk to those residents separately from this conversation. Tuckahoe Road, what we are proposing is to have on the west side of the road, on the east side of the road, I'm sorry, at the road end, we would reduce that seasonal no parking a little bit, followed by the existing 1,100 feet of parking by permit. On the west side of the road, the seasonal no parking be reduced by 100 feet to create an unregulated area for people to park. And then followed by parking by permit, which is currently in the regulations. So the only significant change here is carving out a small area of unregulated parking so that people without permits could park.
It's Cold Spring Road in Tuckahoe, right? Not Tuckahoe, right?
Yes, that's Cold Spring Road.
Right.
Sabonic Inlet Road, the current regulations, there's only a very small parking area right up by the end of the road. What we are proposing is that no parking, parking by permit be established on both sides of the road near the road end, followed on the east side by distance of no parking. And that's where the beach comes right up against the road. On the west side of the road, we propose 300 feet of seasonal of parking by permit, followed by 475 feet of seasonal no parking. North Sea Road, on the west side of the road, we propose parking by permit for a distance of 500 feet with a small area of unregulated parking at the end. On the east side of the road, we propose seasonal no parking from the northerly road end for a distance of 700 feet, which brings it down to the intersection.
Tom, seasonal no parking is no one can park there even with a sticker?
Correct. Seasonal no parking, you can't park there as proposed between April 1st and September 30th. So
But
what
you
we
can park
tried to,
on the other side of the road, can you park?
correct, correct. And wherever possible, we've put the seasonal no parking on the side where the homes are, and where we've added parking by permit, we've tried to put that on the side of the road where there are no homes.
All right, so in this case, at North Sea Road, the west side of the road along the conservation area, you can park without a permit in the summertime?
Not for the first 500 feet. The 500, on the west side of the road, there is unregulated parking. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a black line down.
I can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah, so you're saying
That's-
north of that would be no parking anytime?
North of that would be seasonal, would be parking by permit. North of that black line would be parking by permit.
Okay,
The black area is unregulated, which means people could park there freely. The other side of the road is the seasonal no parking.
okay.
And just to remind the board, there are no regulations on this road currently in effect.
Yeah, that was the area we had a problem with overcrowding during the pandemic. One of the areas.
Right. Yeah, I think that was one of the first ones where there was an issue. You're correct. The next is North Sea, Town Point Road. We're on the west side. The regulations is drafted. There would be seasonal no parking beginning 75 feet from the road end because there is an existing regulation, no parking at the road end. So beginning 75 feet from the northerly road end for a distance of 380 feet in a southerly direction, we would have seasonal no parking. That would then be followed by parking by permit, this kind of open stretch there on the west side. There would be parking by permit, followed by year-round down to where the little bridge is. So this is the area where there is a trustee parking boat launch area. This, Councilman Schiavone, per your comment, this is one of the places where we've modified it from the original recommendations. I think there was a feeling that there was not enough parking in the original recommendation. So we revisited this and we increased the parking from, I think, about 30 vehicles to being able to accommodate somewhere in the 50 to 55 vehicle range along this section of the road. So on the east side, just to finish up, on the east side, we've proposed parking by permit, then an unregulated area. That thin black line is the unregulated parking area, where again, anyone can park. And then followed by year-round no parking down in the area by the bridge. So that was the, those are all of the roads that are covered in the detailed regulations and what's been proposed in the draft regulations.
All right, any questions for Tom?
Yeah, Tom, you had mentioned that we had received some comments from the residents near Sunset and Hampton Bays. Can you just maybe go over that again real quick and let us know, you know, what it is that we're suggesting right now, and perhaps if we can tweak it in the future?
Yes, I would like to perhaps meet with those residents. There's a couple of items there. They did watch the earlier town board work session, and they apparently didn't catch the fact that we are proposing that these regulations all start at the same time, April 1st to September 30th. They also, so appreciate they're watching. They also talked about the gap, if you will, that there's people are allowed to park overnight on the east side of the road. But again, part of that issue is the fact that the signs are not posted correctly on the east side of the road. They also recommended some changes in the wording, the description of the prohibition, as far as we basically say 750 feet in a southerly direction, and then in a westerly direction. But I initially misread that they were simply asking for more detail in the description. But as I've read it a second time, and we just got this morning, as you know,
Yep.
As I read it a second time, the way they are suggesting it, they are proposing, if it's their intent, they are proposing seasonal no parking on both sides of the road. And no, this would overrule the parking by permit on the east side of the road. So again, that's why I'd like to talk to them and make sure we're understanding what it is they're talking about, make sure they're aware that what they've suggested would eliminate the parking by permit on the east side of the road, and that the whole area would be seasonal no parking. I think we have to discuss that with them.
And so most of their concerns have been addressed. But I think that we also need to remind people that as the supervisor has said, and I think we all agree, that we want to have public access in some portions of our roads. We're a tourist community and we want people to come visit our beaches. So I think that as long as we've addressed most of their major concerns, that it should be okay. But I appreciate you going to speak with them and clarifying anything.
Right, and I would like to say they also referenced the fact that the current parking by permit regulations end at 6 p.m. They were not aware of the 11 p.m. regulation, so they were concerned about people parking between 6 p.m. and 1 a.m. is when our residential no parking regulations go into effect. So again, I think having a conversation with them and ironing some of this out would be helpful.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Tom?
I have someone that wants to speak.
No, I just want to make sure the board has asked all their questions. All right. So let's go to the public. And I did have an individual who indicated he wished to be heard. So let me pull that up. Charlie, maybe it's the same
His name is
person you were
Raymond,
talking about.
Raymond Claire.
I have a Jason Davis. And then
Okay.
I had a second person too, Kevin O'Brien.
Okay. And
You
I
have
have a
either of
Raymond
those?
Claire. That's on too.
All right, well, let's take that person first, and then we'll see if those other individuals are here.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, is this Raymond?
No, this is Jason Davis.
Oh, this is Jason. Okay, Jason, we'll take you first. Yeah, I can hear you. You have 3 minutes to make your comments now.
Fantastic. Well, first, I just wanted to call to to show my support for the measures. Before that, first, I just want to thank you, Tom, and also Councilman Martell and Councilwoman Lofstead for all the work that you guys have done in putting this together. I know that it's been a conversation that's been going on for almost a year now. Context on me and our home and our family. We've had a home on East Landing Road for about 5 years now. And East Landing, like many of these other beach end roads they're really residential roads. People have kids, people have dogs. We have 2 kids and a dog. And traffic during the summer months, especially during peak times and weekends, is really just problematic. I've noticed that over each of the past 5 summers that we've owned this home, it's just gotten worse and worse. And the crowds, come, bring cars and congestion and dangerous situations with kids running around and dogs running around, and people trying to navigate with all their beach equipment. And really, I think the tipping point for me was what the pandemic brought. And it's not about coronavirus and social distancing, but it's really about the publicity that the pandemic brought on these beaches. I think we all saw how many of the beaches were posted on social media, and people came not just from Hampton Bays and neighboring towns, but they came from all of Long Island. They came from the 5 boroughs. They came from the tri-state area. They really just came from all over with these massive day trips to go and visit our beaches. Another source of the overcrowding, and the parking situations that we're witnessing here, and things coming to a head. I think these regulations and really making sure that these beaches stay neighborhood beaches. Anyone who lives in the town obviously can buy a permit. And just sort of highlighting some obvious other aspects that, look, these beaches don't have bathrooms. This isn't Ponquag Beach with refreshment stands and a parking lot for 1,000 people and an infrastructure to support these kinds of crowds. So I'm very much in support of these regulations.
All right, thank you, Jason. All right, Charles, do you have anyone else who wanted to be heard?
Mr. Raymond Claire.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, go ahead, Raymond, you have 3 minutes.
Okay, Raymond Claire, North Sea CAC. The road end permits should be cheaper than the regular town permit because there's no facilities at any of the road end breaches, and the parking is going to be restricted. And I mean, even over the Christmas holidays, the end of North Sea Beach was packed with people. People want to walk the beach. North Sea Beach is used more by walkers and people walking their dogs. The only time it's used for swimming is kind of during the summer months. Permits should be for 24 hours because your fishermen arrived at 6 o'clock in the evening when they came out last year. So you can't stop the permit at 6 o'clock. The permits should be sold like at Conscience Point Marina, so everybody don't have to ride to either Sag Harbor, Hampton Bays, or Watermill to get permits. And if there is no problems, there should be no enforcement. If the beach is like it was 2 years ago with no big problems, then the enforcement of the permits and everything can kind of go away again. And the only other thing I have, if you could deal with it, next time it snows, could you please have the Conscience Point Park and Marina plowed? Because if the beach gets too cold, the people get down there and park and walk from there. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Raymond. Those were
Thank
some
you very
helpful
much.
ideas.
Thank you very much.
Okay, anyone else, Charles?
I see no one else. No other hands.
I mean, I thought the last speaker brought up an interesting point about whether we should have a separate fee schedule for road end only. We charge, I think, $40 for the beach parking stickers. Something the board can look at. It's just more administrative work to have to sell 2 different stickers. Okay, let's, and we do have discounts too on those as well for seniors. Okay, that's the last of the hearings. So you want to, I guess, leave the record open again on hearing 3 and 4 is what I'm thinking for more comments. I know Rick is going to want to be part of this discussion. So
Yeah, I spoke with Rick this morning and he said he was fine with closing the public hearing and keeping the record open for written comment for 2 weeks.
all right, Julie, you want to make that motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to close the hearing and keep the record open for written comment for 2 weeks.
You're going to need
Who
to
would like
do
to
both hearings.
Okay, so that's
You
for
want
public
us to
hearing number 3.
Correct.
You want each one separately? All right, so this is on hearing number 3. Councilman Lofstad is making a motion to close the hearing but leave the written record open for 2 weeks. Is there a second?
John Bouvier is the second.
All right, John is seconding it. I couldn't hear that, so all right, I'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
John,
I
you're
only heard-
muted.
I can't hear Tommy John or John, so
Sunday.
Aye,
I was an aye.
Thank you.
I'm good.
and Tommy John was a yes too?
Yes.
Okay, so that was all 4. All right, so that one is closed, written record open 2 weeks, and same motion, same second on public hearing 4. Is that okay?
Yes.
Fine.
All right, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
All right. So that gets us to the end of the public hearings. We'll move on to public portion. Do we have anybody who's seeking to speak in public portion?
There's no one in the waiting room.
All right. I'll make a motion to close public portion.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Scavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Public portion is closed. All right. So we can now move on to the main body of the meeting, the town board resolutions. We're gonna
Supervisor,
start-
you do have walk-ons.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Councilman Bouvier, for reminding me. Yeah, let's add those walk-ons now. So give me a second to find them. Here we are. All right. So let me make a motion to walk on 7 resolutions. The first one, 35626, amends resolution 2021-16 to appoint additional members of the Windsor Heart Project Committee. The second one, 35628, authorizes the controller to establish a restricted account for the Windsor Heart Project. 35634 authorizes the supervisor to sign a contract with L.K. McLean Associates, P.C., for professional services to be provided for historic projects for the Community Preservation Department. 35636 Authorizes the supervisor to execute 2021 stewardship agreement with Maureen Stafford, Linda Capua, and Patricia Obi to provide custodian services at various parks within the town. And the next is 35,367. Oh, before we move on to the next one, that other one, 35,636, I'm going to need another sponsor, I believe. Or maybe I don't. It's sponsored by Councilman Martell. Can we walk it on with him as a sponsor, Jim?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm happy to co-sponsor that, Supervisor.
Okay, so let's walk it on with that, and then, all right, I'll read the next one. 35637, authorize an agreement with the Town of Southampton Housing Authority to administer the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. 35639, authorizes the supervisor to sign any and all documents for the permit for state pollutant elimination systems. And the last one, 35649, is the first warrant of the year. All right, I'll make a motion to walk all 7 of those on.
Second.
Seconded by, I guess it was Councilman Bouvier. We're going to need all 4 for this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, Sunday, I think I heard 4.
Yes.
All right, so we'll take those up at the end. Let's go back to the agenda. All right, so resolution 1093 of 2020 authorizes the supervisor to execute a contract with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Suffolk County to partner with the town for passive permeable reactive barriers at Iron Point.
Supervisor, you need to make an amendment on resolution in 2 places. One is at the title, substitute for Iron Point Riverside Maritime Park. And then on the third, whereas, same substitution.
All right, so let me withdraw the motion to approve, make a motion to amend to delete any mention of Iron Point Park and replace it with Riverside Maritime Park.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now I'll make a motion to approve as amended, seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. All right.
Town Board Resolution 1105 of 2020. That should be 2021, right?
Yes, then I was just going to suggest to you, it was actually put forward in 2020. So
Okay.
that is the number of the resolution. But within the resolution, we're going to need to update, because this local law will be a 2021 local law, not a 2020 local law, because you're adopting it in 2021. So we're going to need to update the date at the top, like of the pages where it says local law number of 2020. We're going to update wherever it says that to 2021. And then Councilman Schiavone on page 10, we're going to need to change the date of the adopted meeting to today, because it was not adopted on December 22nd. At that meeting, it's being adopted today on January 12th.
Got it.
All right.
So
You wanna make a
procedurally,
motion?
what do I need to, should I make a
may
motion to
need to
make
make a
those
motion.
changes?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Okay. I move that we
Yeah, I
make
need
the changes articulated by the town clerk in regards to the dates that she specified.
All right, I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, now you want to make a motion to approve as amended, correct?
I'd like to make a motion to approve Town Board Resolution 1105 of 2021, correct, Sunday?
Yes.
amended.
All right. Did you read the title already?
No, I did not. This is a resolution of adoption enacting Article 10.1 of Southampton Town Code, Chapter 330, to authorize the Agricultural Conservation District within the town, formerly known as the Ag PDD districts. And as we know, we did get some feedback from our planning board. We reviewed it at the Agricultural Advisory Committee, and we're putting this bill forward, this resolution forward in form. We do want to take a look at it and possibly make some changes in the near future regarding the size of particular pieces of land or contiguous pieces of land that could be eligible for this conservation district, but that would be in the future.
Yes. On the motion, if I may, Sunday,
Sure.
can you just clarify that the local law will be changed to 2021, but the actual resolution number is still 2020-1105?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else on the motion to approve as amended? All right. I'll call the. Just make sure we had a motion in a second. We did. All right.
Who's
all
the
in
second?
favor?
Who
Oh,
is
you know
this?
what? You're right. There was no second on the approval. I'll second it.
Okay.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right. Approved.
Town Board Resolution 32 of 2021. Authorize the purchase of heavy-duty parts, Sterling, Mack, and Ford from Suffolk County Contract.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
Town Board Resolution 33 of 2021. Authorize the purchase of heavy-duty parts, Sterling, Mack, Ford from Suffolk County Contract.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Town Board Resolution 34 of 2021. Authorize the purchase for Caterpillar heavy-duty equipment, parts, accessories, supplies, and related services.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Town Board Resolution 2021-35 authorizes supervisor to execute the 2021 Inspirational Triathlon Racing, Inc., DBA iTri contract.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Town Board Resolution 2021-36 authorizes supervisor to execute the 2021 Human Understanding and Growth Services, HUGS contract.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Scavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. 2021-37 authorizes the supervisor to sign a contract with Local TV, Inc. in order to simulcast programming on Sun 20 TV, the cable television public access channel.
Second?
Seconded by Councilwoman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I don't know that we've ever done a resolution calling it Sun 20, or whether we need to, but that is going to be Channel 20 Public Access TV. So Jim, does that have to be designated somewhere as its name?
I'm not familiar. That's what the commonly known as the name of the channel is Sun 20. I'm not familiar.
That
It's
would
not
be
very
new.
common.
We call it Sunday's way.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. We all understand that it's for Channel 20, so community access.
Southampton Community.
I don't know that we own it, whether we can officially name it or how that works. But it is the community access channel. So
If you go
All right,
turn it on and see what it says on the bottom of it.
All right, we'll sort that out at another point. We're going to move on. I guess it's Julie's resolution.
Town Board Resolution 2021-38, authorize the purchase of food products and related supplies from Omnia Partners with Premier Inc. with distribution through U.S. Foods.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Scavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved 2021-39 authorizes the purchase of maintenance, repair, and operation supplies, parts, equipment, materials, and related services from the Omnia Partners contract with W.W. Granger.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Town Board Resolution 2021-40, authorize the purchase of milk and dairy products from the New York State OGS with Primo Land Dairies LLC.
Second.
Second by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. 2021-41, authorize the purchase of tires from the Suffolk County contract with Barnwell House of Tires.
Second.
Seconded, was that Councilman Scavone?
It was.
All right,
Yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Uh, 2021-42, authorize the supervisor to execute an amendment to the contract with Oliver Packaging and Equipment Company as sole source provider of complete system packaging trays for senior services.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor? Aye.
John,
Town Board.
Approved.
thank you.
Town Board Resolution 43 of 2021, authorize the supervisor to execute an amendment with Tyler Technologies Incorporated to provide staff familiar with assessment updates, hearings, and small claims assessments against the town.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Resolution 44 of 2021, authorize the supervisor to execute an extension with Nelson Pope and Voorhees LLC for the preparation of a market analysis, traffic impact study, and supplemental generic environmental impact statement in connection with the Hampton Bays Downtown Overlay District.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Town Board Resolution 2021-45, authorize the supervisor to execute the 2021 Family Service League contract for the South Fork Behavioral Health Initiative and the Youth Outreach Umbrella Program.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Scavone. Is that right?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Correct.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Approved. All right. Number 46 of 2021, authorize the supervisor to renew the town's maintenance agreement with MaxVault LLC, Printer Logic Inc. for MaxCloud and MaxClerk.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Lofstad. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Town Board
I only heard-
Resolution.
I'm going to say approved, but Sunday, did you hear more than the 2 votes?
Yes, I did. I have 4 votes.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Great. John?
Town Board Resolution 2020-47, authorize the supervisor to sign a sole source contract with General Code LLC for services to the town clerk's office.
Second.
Just one correct. Seconded. It's just 20. It's 2021-47, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Before we go on to the next one, Sunday, I just want to check if you all are hearing me here.
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Board Resolution 48 of 2021 authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with Rec Pro Software from RC Systems Incorporated for Parks and Recreation Program registrations.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Resolution 49 of 2021 authorizes the supervisor to sign consultant agreement with Michael J. Zarro to assist the Southampton Town Police Department with the Hexagon computer-aided dispatch software and a niche records management software.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schiavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Resolution 50 of 2021 awards and authorizes the supervisor to sign contract with North Sea Park Pickleball Court.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Resolution 51 of 2021 recalls and amends Town Board Resolution 2020-1014 for the Watermill Community Club.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schiavone. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Approved. 52 of 2021 recalls and amends Town Board Resolution 2020-1015 for the Watermill Museum.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schiavone. All in favor? Aye.
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 Approved. 2021-53, 2021 notice to bidders, modifications to existing leachate pump station.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Town Board Resolution 2021-54 is a 2021 request for proposals for Town Hall masonry repairs, window replacement, and wood trim refurbishment.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. 55 of 2021 amends 2021 adopted budget for CTV 20.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Number 2021-56 amends 2021 town police fee schedule.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schiavone. All in favor? Aye.
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 Approved. Number 57 of 2021 authorizes payment for Suffolk County Water Authority for main extensions in certain areas of East Quad.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Number 58 of 2021 recalls and rescinds Town Board Resolution 2020-1127.
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schiavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Number 59 of 2021 retains John Lynch Esquire as it relates to litigation filed against the town.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. 2021-60, resolution to authorize the settlement of a matter with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation in connection with the Town of Southampton Public Safety Building.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. 61 of 2021, resolution to adopt amendment to Town Code Chapter 111, beaches, parks, and waterways in connection with parking permit parking at Long Beach.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schiavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. 62 of 2021, 2021 part-time salaries.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Number 63 of 2021, accepts the resignation of a building inspector in land management.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Number 64, 2021 appoints Paul Sopko to construction equipment operator position in Municipal Works Waste Management Division.
Second.
Second by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Congratulations to Paul. Number 65 of 2021 is a notice of public hearing to consider amending Town Code Chapter 250, outdoor sidewalk dining, to waive particular provisions in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, subject to the fire marshal's approval.
Second.
Second by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
Town Board Resolution 2021-66 is a notice of public hearing to consider accepting a grant of trail easement in the connection with the abandonment of Harris Avenue, North Sea.
Second.
Second by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Town Board Resolution 67 of 2021. This is a notice of public hearing to consider a local law enacting Southampton Town Code, Chapter 160, entitled Mining and Land Reclamation.
Second.
Second by Councilman Bouvier. This is for a hearing on February 9th, 2021 at 1 p.m.
And this would be for groundwater monitoring for mine sites in Southampton Town.
Right. It would require that monitoring program. All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. That's to hold the public hearing. All right. So we're going to go to now for the walk-on packet. And we start with 35626, amends Resolution 2021-16 to appoint additional members of the Windsor Heart Project Committee.
Second.
Second by Councilman Bouvier. This is adding Assemblyman Fred Field to the committee, as well as Assemblywoman Rebecca Searice, right, from Assembly District 76, who wants to be a part of this. So, all right. So those two new members. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Next resolution, 35628, authorizes the controller to establish a restricted account for the Windsor Heart Project. This is so we can receive donations and people are comfortable knowing that it will only be for this project. Seconded by Councilman Scavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. If we receive more donations than are needed to construct the heart and maintain the heart, then any additional will be transferred to the Edie Windsor and Thea Spire Foundation for the Edie Windsor Healthcare Center associated with Stony Brook Hospital. All right, moving on with the next resolution. This is resolution ID number 35634, co-sponsored with Councilman Bouvier. It authorizes the supervisor to sign a contract with L.K. McLean Associates, P.C. for professional services to be provided for historic projects for the Community Preservation Department.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. The next one, John, do you want to read it? We're going to add you as a co-sponsor, I guess.
I will. It's a walk-on resolution 35636 is co-sponsored. I'm a co-sponsor. sponsored by Rick Martell, and I'm co-sponsoring it, is to authorize the supervisor to execute a 2021 stewardship agreement with Maureen Stafford, Linda Hua, and Patricia Overlake to provide custodian services at various parks within the town.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lofstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. All right, resolution ID number 35637, co-sponsored with Councilman Bouvier, authorizes an agreement with the town of Southampton Housing Authority to administer the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Resolution ID number 35639 authorizes the supervisor to sign any and all documents for the permit for state pollutant elimination systems. Speedy.
Second.
Second by is Councilman Scavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Next resolution, ID number 35649. It's warrant number 1, capital number 1, CPF number 1, and payroll liability.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. All right, that is the last resolution I have. Is there any other business? Any other business? Any announcements? Okay, then I will make a motion to close our town board meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Scavone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, our meeting is adjourned, and I'll